If medical research concludes that psychedelic substances are effective in treating some mental health disorders and addiction issues, how would you feel about the federal government decriminalizing their use for medical purposes? And what we find is a similar kind of distribution, although slightly higher. You get a lot more, little boost to support, 6 points up in terms of strongly support, a 3-point boost in those who support it, and you can see a 5-point drop in unsure. In fact, opposition kind of depresses slightly. So all of this points to the idea that, acceptance and support gets to 2/3 of Canadians without much effort and familiarity. That's the good news in this data. As a pollster and someone who looks at this all the time, I also then look at the downside. And the downside is this is soft. This is uninformed opinion. And so as this debate and discussion expands, and as you seek to engage people in this conversation, bringing the public in, your goal here, as Perry will talk to, is to move people to a darker green and out of this unsure and get them to hop over that. So Perry, maybe you could just speak to what you think this data tells you as somebody who's constantly trying to tell stories and engage the public and policymakers.
Yeah, so you summed it up with that mostly good, a little bit of risk idea, David. Right? It's we've got the recipe there with 2/3 support to, at least in this jurisdiction of Canada, to be able to say to regulators and say to political decision makers and make the case to the media, who also is an important element of this public opinion conversation. Canadians are open-minded about moving ahead with this, provided researchers can show their work and can demonstrate efficacy with gold standard clinical trials.